the door and the wind wasn't blowing through the tree, so it was just a noise. And he's like, I actually have it on camera because I started recording it because it was just so crazy. In our conversation, I'm like, oh, like, what is that? I never heard wind like that. He's like, I think it might be the geothermal plant. And I'm like, why would it be that? And like, I got super nervous all of a sudden. And so then he calls the 2 numbers for the geothermal plant. Nobody answers. He calls 911, they don't give him any information, they just say, yeah, we know about the geothermal, hang up. So we're like, okay, like kind of confused, like, well, I guess he would have told us to evacuate if it was a big deal. So we were concerned, but not super worried yet. We're just like more perplexed by the noise. And soon after I started feeling bad, like headache came on, my throat got scratchy, I became really just like weird feeling. I don't really know how to describe it. And so I think it was like half hour later, he called the cops again to try and get more information. And they said, oh, it's okay, it's just like a steam release. So Mike told me that, and I'm like, oh, okay, it's just steam, like I don't have to worry. And so like I went and laid down, it's like.
Just a second, I need a quick one. The Civil Defense Director is called, he's with the mayor. They want to send out an ambulance to take symptoms from the people that have been affected so that it's documented. And I'm going to tell them okay unless somebody has some objections.
Right now?
Right now. It's on the way. That's there already?
I called the lawyer to talk to him, and he said document everything like we talked about, and make sure you get any witnesses, names of witnesses and stuff like that. Those are going to be the things you're going to do.
Yeah. He's got it all.
And also, maybe if you know anybody who did have symptoms, if you can maybe call them and tell them to come on over here so they can.
Oh, and he said one more thing. Make sure that not only do you see the civil defense doctor or Department of Health doctor, go to your family doctor. It's like making a police report. You have to go see the doctor if you had symptoms. Please.
So, I'm sorry, this is happening tomorrow, the civil defense?
There's an ambulance on its way right now, so we'll get more information.
No, they're just going to take symptoms. They're just going to
Well, but they're
take.
coming right now, and when they
But
get
they won't
here,
test for the mitochondria and all
make sure
that.
you insist that they have a safe. I mean, we got to insist that they set up a place out here for everybody to go.
We just got one more and then we can go into that. Yeah, right here. Just let her finish right here.
Okay, so they said it was a steam release, and that made me feel more relaxed and comfortable. Because when they say steam, I assume it was steam. You know?
Emergency steam release.
Yeah, so I wasn't too worried. And then, but I still started I felt worse, and I was like, okay, I know it's not in my head. I'm not feeling good. And so I checked my Facebook, and we see the message from Billy Canoy saying to evacuate if you're experiencing discomfort, and we definitely were. And then I went outside, and it stunk like a rotten egg, and I was like, yeah, let's get out of here. And so we loaded up all our stuff and just left, and we got about a mile until, that was as far as we could go because the trees are blocking the road. And we saw maybe 4 or 5 other cars on the street of people trying to leave. And there was one guy who was following us because we were trying to find a way out, and we just couldn't, so we all went back to our homes. So we went back, and like he said, we got into our walk-in closet for a while. He just, like he said, he passed out, like he was out, which is really weird for him. And I couldn't sleep at all that night. I just kept getting up to drink water. I was super, super thirsty, and I had a really, really fast heart rate, and I felt like I couldn't take a full breath all the way, and I took like valerian root, which usually calms me down, and it helps me sleep really well, and didn't do anything. I just felt terrible, and my eyes were burning. After a few hours, the smell went away. But yeah, I couldn't sleep. The next morning I wake up, I get up, it's like 6 a.m. and I'm just sort of strolling on the street to try and survey the damage, and I felt like I was gonna pass out just from walking. Like, it was really scary. I've never felt like I was gonna die before. I thought I was going to die, like laying there, like It sucked, and I'm super pissed.
I hear that.
Yeah. Very scary, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And unnecessary.
Yeah. Okay. Tom,
Anybody else? Hey, an ambulance is coming. When Bob left the meeting, well, I'll let him say what he did, but
I called civil defense and told them they needed to do something right now.
And Daryl apparently went in and talked to the mayor, and they're sending an ambulance to document the symptoms you have, and that if either they or you feel that you need to go somewhere now, they will get you there, to a hospital or care. Ninu, I mentioned that you're here, and I mentioned that one of the things that was most distressing about the meeting was lack of medical understanding in the community of how to deal with possible exposure to H2S. And I said that if I could talk you into it, they said it would be all right if you were with medical technicians so that you could be sure that they're framing the issues appropriately so that we can go from here.
Framing the issues of
The issues, not what the symptoms are, but where they need to go. What needs to be done, because the medical, if a doctor isn't coming, so if the doctors are having trouble knowing what to do, I can assure the medical technicians are going to say, this is fine, and I think it would be appropriate for you to tell them, no, they need to be tested for this, 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 and this, and get them to write that down in that medical term.
I'm writing down a list of tests that are needed.
Okay, thank you very much, Nina.
One thing I wanted to point out is that, don't they recommend in a hurricane, that you're supposed to at least crack something so that the pressure doesn't build up?
I don't know the answer, but I do know that if I were smelling a noxious gas and had nowhere to go, it has to be one of the most terrifying experiences I can imagine. Probably drowning is a little worse, but they're related to each other because it would really be a terrifying experience. And my heart goes out to those people that experienced it. I'm very sorry.
And also to know that you have people, friends, neighbors, people you love that are right at the, close to the plant, and you can't notice that, notify them, and you can't get them out, and you're just like waiting. I mean, it's horrible.
Well, and I was so fearful something would break the window, and then what? And I'm in a hurricane, and the air can get in, and I've told a lot of people about it, and I've been made fun of, but I seriously was so worried about my family's life and my babies, and I have never felt anything like that, and I can't get over it. I'm shaken. And hearing all this is just compounding my fear because, I didn't know if it was just stress from the hurricane or what it was, but anyway.
Dr. Quirk referred to this, but some of the damage done by hydrogen sulfide is not reversible without medical intervention. So I think it's absolutely essential that all of you go to a personal doctor and start the process to see if you can get to an expert that knows how to deal with it. Because the damage is not all reversible.
I was passed out first, supposed to deal with
Corey right here, guys.
Oh, no, I was just saying, how are people who are passed out supposed to deal with a hurricane? I'm just totally shocked by what I'm hearing.
I know.
I'm not trying to put the political cart before the horse. And the level of accountability, the level of command, who can shut this plant down because it's not safe? Can the health department, the mayor, the governor?
Yes,
who?
those three can.
Now, the governor said, get over it, embrace geothermal.
Right.
And he's on his way out, I believe.
Well, he said, get over it, embrace geothermal. If you don't like what I'm saying, elect somebody else.
We did. Kenoi can do it too.
I think so. I'm not a legal expert, but the permitting authorities are the county and the county and the state. So my assumption is that if you require a county permit to operate, then you also have the authority to shut down. I know the EPA can shut them down. I'm sure the state can shut them down. I think the mayor can shut them down. And maybe they'll decide that they're not doing quite right and shut themselves down, but that's a possibility.
So if mayor, governor, and health department are a little bit lethargic or don't want to do anything, can the EPA come in and say?
Yes.
And we're gonna call Asia Yearly tomorrow and tell her we have a medical emergency and ask for the Center for Disease Controls to be sent out.
I think the mayor can shut it down.
I think you
Well,
can.
I'll tell you, if they don't, we'll get 1,000 people and we'll.
Yeah,
Now, I'm going to touch on this meeting. This meeting hasn't quite been what I expected, but there were some actions that we wanted to take, and one action we want to take is to get that letter out, hopefully tomorrow, that I read.
Those that didn't get to hear it, you just got a letter that's going out about everything we're talking about.
Yeah, the second, pardon me?
Are you gonna post it on the Facebook page? Are you gonna post it on the, where can we all find the
Oh,
letter?
hopefully, if it works like I hope, hopefully one of the papers will pick it up.
Yeah, sure.
So hopefully you'll be able to read it on one of the
Hey,
papers.
Carrie, can we get a copy of this video? Because I think we should send this video to the TV stations as well.
The video is an hour and 23 minutes long already. They won't run it.
Just cut.
It has to be
Can you make it-
cut up.
Can you do your magic?
They won't. They won't.
One
But
second.
yes, we can get it out, and I can probably get it on Big Island Video News almost immediately.
Well, get it to me too, if you wouldn't mind, please.
Okay, the next thing is that we're going to have a community meeting in which we ask Helco, the mayor, the governor, and the PGV to come and explain to us what happened to the community. So they stand in front of us and tell us what happened, much as we did on the March 13th incident. The third thing is, and this is the one that has the least planning, is some of us feel that we did a march on Helco a while back in which we marched to Hilo because probably not a good idea to march that far again. Many of us were injured for months. But
The 1-year anniversary is next week, you know. It is. I mean, honestly, I was gonna mention.
But we think that a similar community educational statement, don't call it a protest, we call it a demonstration where we stand up and say exactly what the community wants and expects without any rancor and without any argument. Nobody gets arrested. We get all the permits. We think that we should have one of those within a short period of time.
A little late, 5 days later.
Exactly, yeah.
I think we should put
Here
up
comes the cavalry.
signs around the geothermal that say intermittent emergency steam release.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
There they are.
Yeah.
With the truck. Oh, boy.
No, they always bring the truck.
You called the mayor. Are you kidding me? He likes a good show.
What did you call them?
Oh, yeah, this is. Oh, yeah.
Go ahead.
I posted my story to Billy's page.
Ooh,
Yeah,
Nice.
that's
Good.
that was 2 days ago.
Ooh, damn.
I don't know about anybody else, but I was being really stressed with this hurricane, but knowing that there could be another one right after it.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't hear anybody saying that, but I was stressed out knowing that we only had one more day and we had to go through this again. That, thank God that it went somewhere else, but we were told that it was coming to us again in Hilo, so, I mean, that was double stress.
And most of us would have been exactly the same place we were after the first
Exactly,
hurricane. 'Cause
exactly.
we were behind piles and piles of trees. Yep.
That's
Gas
another.
mask, I have a question.
Okay, go ahead.
Are gas masks effective?
Are gas masks effective or not effective?
Yeah, I would imagine if they're really sealed and allow this thing.
The good kind, not the kind you get Home Depot.
You can get them at home.
I mean, I have one, those ones don't even
You
work
said
for
not
paint.
to.
The ones at Home Depot don't even work for paint.
Those are for drywall dust. Those are for drywall dust.
Oh, I mean, just
The
carbon.
$35 one instead of the $7 one.
It's like
Paint,
$50.
Right, okay, yeah, I bought those, yeah. I haven't had a lot of luck with those. Military ones work better than those, but yeah. Yeah, because I'd actually painted my house with that one, and it just went right in my wall. They're supposed to. Home Depot. Because Home Depot work. The military one I got down at the military school.
This guy,
Yeah, same kind of thing. I was
this woman,
You see a doctor since that day?
I went saw a doctor today.
and we have a doctor here as well.
He said, I called the doctor, but you can't see the computer.
This is Nina Burke, she's a doctor, and she understands hydrogen sulfide poisoning better than anybody here.
We're just gonna get their vital signs for the ambulance ones, and then you can speak with them. Yeah, they get a much better one-on-one with them.